Part 1, The Voice in the Dark. The heat of Bangkok at midnight is a living thing. It curls through open windows, carries the smell of river water and frying oil and jasmine from the spirit shrine on the corner. In a small apartment in Bang Rak, on the 5th floor of a shophouse so narrow the stairs groan with every step, a boy named Kao lies on a thin mattress and listens to the radio. He is 19. His hair falls across his forehead in dark waves. His glasses are crooked because he fell asleep in them again. Around him, empty bowls of cow tom, a half-drawn sketch of a temple spire, a fan that clicks with every rotation. But his attention is elsewhere, inside the small yellow transistor radio pressed to his ear. Sawas di Krupp, lost souls, says the voice. It's 11:30 in Bangkok. The rain has stopped. The soy dogs are quiet. You're listening to Siphon, Midnight Whisper. Kao knows that voice better than he knows his own heartbeat. DJ Gulf, yes, but it's not the DJ he waits for. It's the letters. The strangers. The one stranger, in particular, tonight's first letter, Gulf continues, is from Starless Sky. He writes, "Tonight I walked past the person I love. He was buying mango sticky rice from a cart. He smiled at the vendor. Not at me. I bought 2 portions and threw one into the river. Why does loving feel like carrying water in my palms?" Kao's breath leaves him in a soft rush. He has read this letter before, not this exact one, but 100 like it. The same ache. The same poetry. The same boy who types in lowercase and signs off with a crescent moon emoji. He reaches for his phone. Opens the live chat. His fingers move before his mind catches up. "Dear Starless Sky," he writes. "You don't have to carry it alone. I'm Moon Child. I listen every night. Next time, eat both portions. Love isn't performance. It's just staying." He sends it. Waits. The private message arrives 11 seconds later. Starless Sky _99, Moon Child. You always understand. Can I tell you something I've never said aloud? Moonchild _art, I'm listening. Starless Sky _99, I don't know how to be soft. My father said love is weakness. So I learned to be sharp. But at midnight, I want to be held. Is that stupid? Kao's eyes sting. He thinks of his own father, who left when he was 7. Of his mother, who works double shifts at a hospital and comes home too tired to hold anyone. Of the way he sometimes stands in the middle of his room and doesn't know what to do with his own hands. Moonchild _art, no. That's the most human thing in the world. They talk until 12:47 a.m. Not about school or names or the bodies they live in during daylight. About the smell of doke jasmine after rain. About the fear of eating alone in food courts. About a dream they both had, separately, impossibly, of standing on opposite piers, waving, unable to cross the river. Finally, Starless Sky _99, I have to go. But tomorrow? Same time, Moonchild _art, I'll bring the moonlight. Starless Sky _99, and I'll bring the sky. Kao puts down the phone. He stares at the ceiling. A single tear slides into his hair. He doesn't know that across the river, in a cold, minimalist condo in Thornbury, a boy named Feu is doing the exact same thing, except Feu has screenshotted every message and saved them in a folder called Moon. He has done this for 7 months, he will do it for as long as it takes. Morning in Bangkok is a different beast. The heat turns aggressive. Motorbike taxis weave through markets. The sky is a bleached white that makes everything look overexposed. Kao walks through the gates of Thammasat University with his best friend PLA, who has pink-tipped hair and a tote bag that says, Emotional Support Mango. She is the only person who knows about Starless Sky. You have that look again, she says, bumping his shoulder. The one where you're floating. I don't know what you mean. You do. The midnight radio guy. You're falling for a ghost, Kao. He opens his mouth to deny it, and then he sees him. Feu, 21 years old. Engineering senior. Tall, broad-shouldered, with dark hair that falls over one eye and a face that rarely smiles. He is famous for two things: top grades, and the public humiliation of Cow during a design presentation last year, when he stood up in a room of 200 people and said, "Your work is sentimental garbage. Architecture isn't about feelings. It's about structure." Learn the difference. Everyone expected Cow to hate him. Everyone expects Cow to hate him still, but hate is not what Cow feels when Fei's eyes find him across the courtyard. It's something worse. Something older. Fei walks toward them. Students part like water around a stone. He stops directly in front of Cow, close enough that Cow smells his cologne, cedarwood and something metallic, like rain on hot tin. "Your line weights are still uneven," Fei says. Cow blinks. "What?" "The temple elevation you submitted last week. The Naga serpent curve on the left is 2 millimeters thicker than the right." Sloppy. PLA's mouth drops open. "You checked his homework?" "That's weird, even for you." Fei ignores her. His eyes never leave Cow's face. There is something in them, a hunger disguised as indifference, a heat pretending to be ice. "Fix it," he says quietly. "Or don't. But don't embarrass the faculty." He walks away. But not before his shoulder brushes Cow's. A deliberate accident. PLA stares after him. "Why does he look at you like you stole his last breath and he wants it back?" Cow's hands are shaking. "Because he hates me," but his phone buzzes. Starless Sky _99, "I saw someone today. They looked sad. I wanted to fix it but I don't know how." Cow types back, throat tight, Moonchild _art, "Maybe just say, 'I see you.'" That's enough. That afternoon, Cow sits alone in the architecture library, surrounded by rolled blueprints. He is supposed to be sketching a prang, a temple spire, but he keeps messing up the shadow angles. His mind is elsewhere. On Fei's voice. On Starless Sky's words. On the impossible, terrifying suspicion that they are the same person. He scrolls through his chat history. Finds this from 3 weeks ago. Starless Sky _99, "If I could draw, I'd draw the moon. Not full. Crescent. Because even broken things are beautiful." Cow's pencil snaps. "Same person," he whispers. They can't be the same person, but his gut knows. The way Fei looks at him. The way Starless Sky types, short, poetic, bruised. The way both of them seem to be screaming inside a soundproof room. He is still staring at the broken pencil when a shadow falls across his table. Fei sits down across from him. Uninvited. He has no books, no pretense. Just a bottle of water and a face that looks like it hasn't slept in days. "What do you want?" Cow asks. "To apologize." Cow almost laughs. "You apologize, this morning. I was harsh. You don't deserve that." Fei pauses. His jaw works, muscles flexing. "I'm not good at." Soft. Cow's heart slams against his ribs. Starless Sky said the same thing last night. Fei's expression doesn't change. But his fingers curl into fists under the table. "Maybe great minds think alike," he says. He stands. Then, quieter, "Your Naga curve was fine. I lied. I just wanted an excuse to talk to you." He leaves before Cow can respond. Cow sits there, frozen, his broken pencil on the floor. He pulls out his phone. Moonchild _art, "Something strange happened today. My rival almost said something kind. Twice." The reply comes in 11 seconds. Starless Sky _99, "Maybe he's tired of being a rival." Part 2, The Unmasking. The campus charity event is called Anonymous Letters to the Moon. It happens once a year, on the night of the full moon, at the Saphan Taksin Pier. Hundreds of students gather by the Chao Phraya River with paper lanterns and brush pens. The rule is simple: write a secret. Light the lantern. Release it over the water. No names. No judgment. Cow stands apart from the crowd, holding a white lantern. He has written his secret carefully, in elegant Thai script, to starless sky, I want to hear your real voice. No more masks, he lights the candle inside. The lantern glows warm, translucent, alive. He lifts it above his head, a gust of wind. Strong. Sudden. The kind of wind that comes off the river without warning, the lantern tears from his hands. Flies sideways. Flips twice, and lands directly against Feiyu's chest. Feiyu catches it. Unfolds it. Reads it, the crowd continues laughing, releasing lanterns, buying luck chup from vendors. But Cao and Feiyu are frozen in a bubble of silence, 20 meters apart, connected by a single paper lantern. Then Feiyu walks toward him, slowly. Deliberately. Each step a small death, he stops a foot away. Holds out the lantern, then read mine, he hands over his own lantern. Dark blue. On it, written in shaky, frantic handwriting, to Moon Child, I am your starless sky. I am the boy who mocked you because I was afraid of love. I am Feiyu. And I am sorry, Cao's vision tunnels. The river sounds vanish. He hears only his own heartbeat, loud and wet and breaking. It was you, he whispers. All those nights. The poems, the comfort, the dreams. That was you, every single word, Feiyu says. His voice is raw, scraped clean of its usual ice. Every single midnight. For 7 months, you made me hate you, I know, you called my work sentimental garbage in front of 200 people, I know. You, Cao's hand moves before his brain catches up. He slaps Feiyu across the face. Hard. The sound echoes off the river, people turn. Gasps, then Cao grabs Feiyu's collar, yanks him down, and kisses him, not soft. Not gentle. Fierce. Desperate. Angry. Years of loneliness compressed into 1 second. His mouth is brutal against Feiyu's, teeth and tears and the taste of salt, he pulls back. His whole body is shaking, you made me hate you so I wouldn't love you, he says. That's the cruelest thing anyone has ever done to me, Feiyu doesn't touch his reddened cheek. He just nods, I know, he says. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, he says it 7 times. Once for every month. 5, Cao runs, he doesn't know where, just away. His sandals slap the wooden pier. He weaves through tourists and food carts and clusters of laughing students. He runs until his lungs burn, until the crowd thins, until he reaches a small, abandoned ferry landing near Wat Yanoa. No one is here. Just dark water and the distant sound of long-tail boats and a stray cat washing its face on a mooring post. He collapses onto a concrete step. Hugs his knees. Shakes, Feiyu appears 3 meters behind him. He doesn't come closer. He just stands there, breathing hard, waiting. Explain, Cao says between sobs. Now. Or I swear I'll jump into that river and swim to Nonthaburi. Feiyu sits down slowly. Keeps his distance. Stares at the water. 7 years ago, he says. Temple Fair. What Bowan, and then he tells Cao a story. 7 years ago, a 14-year-old boy with a military father and a soft mother stands at a temple fair, holding a paper crane. He is tall for his age, already learning to hide his face behind a mask of indifference. His father has taught him that boys don't cry, that feelings are bullets, that love is a weakness you cannot afford. Then he sees a smaller boy sitting on a stone bench, drawing a mural of a white crane. The smaller boy has messy hair and bare feet and a tongue poking out in concentration. He looks up. Sees the taller boy staring. Smiles. Do you like cranes? The smaller boy asks. They mate for life, you know. The taller boy's heart stops. He has never heard anything so beautiful, but his father's hand closes around his shoulder. Tight. Bruising. Don't stare, the father says. Boys don't look at boys like that. Come, the taller boy is dragged away. He looks back. The smaller boy waves. He does not wave back. He has regretted it for 2,555 days. That was you, Fayez says to the river. That was always you. I never forgot. I couldn't forget. So when we ended up at the same university, I panicked. I thought if I was cruel, you'd stay away. You'd be safe. From my father. From me. His voice breaks on the last word. Cow is silent for a long time. The river laps. The cat meows. That's not love, Cow finally says. That's cowardice wearing armor. Then let me take off the armor. Faye kneels. Not dramatically, just slowly, like his knees are heavy. He reaches into his pocket. Pulls out a small, folded piece of paper. I wrote this the night you first replied to me on the radio, he says. I was going to mail it. But I was too scared. Cow unfolds it. In Fayez's handwriting. Dear Moon Child, if you ever find out it's me, and if you don't run, I will spend every day of my life making sure you never regret staying. Faye, Cow's tears drop onto the paper. Smudge the ink. 1 month, he whispers. What, you get 1 month? Prove that the voice I fell for is the real you. Every day, you show me who you are when you're not pretending to hate me. At the end. If I still want to run, you let me go. Forever. Fayez's face crumples, relief, terror, hope, all at once. 1 month, he says. Starting now, he doesn't touch Cow. But he shifts 1 centimeter closer. The cat meows again. Cow almost laughs. You're an idiot, Fayez says. If you'll have me, don't push it. Day 1 starts tomorrow, but Cow doesn't move away. And neither does Fayez. They sit by the river until 2 a.m., not talking, just breathing the same humid air. At some point, Cow's hand drifts across the concrete. Fayez's hand meets it. Their pinkies touch. Neither pulls back. It is not a kiss. It is not a confession, it is the smallest possible beginning. Part 3, Learning to Love in the Light. The first week is a study in small mercies. On day 1, Cow arrives at the architecture studio to find a bottle of guava juice on his desk. Condensation on the glass. A sticky note, you said it tastes like childhood. Day 1. PLA snatches it. P. Who's P? Wait. Fayu. The Pichawayu, Cow snatches it back. Shut up, but he drinks the juice. And smiles. On day 3, they meet at Watarun at sunset. Faye helps Cow measure the central prang for his restoration project. They work in silence for an hour. Then Fayu says, the angle of the sun at 5:47 p.m. hits the porcelain tiles just right. That's why the temple glows. Cow stares at him. How do you know that? Fayu shrugs. I came here every day for a week to find the perfect time. In case you ever asked, Cow's face burns. That's weird. Is it working? Maybe. On day 5, they eat tom yum ramen at a small shop in Thornbury. Fayu slides his cow kai, the soft yolk of his egg, into Cow's bowl. No words. Just the soft clink of chopsticks. Cow texts PLA later, he gave me his egg. I think I'm in trouble, PLA, you're already gone. Enjoy the fall. On day 7, Bangkok explodes into rain. It happens without warning, a monsoon storm that turns streets to rivers and skies too. Cow and Fayu are caught halfway between temples, their umbrella useless, their clothes soaked through in seconds. They run to a giant banyan tree near Wat Rokhang, its roots like ancient fingers curling into the earth. A small spirit shrine sits at its base, offerings of marigolds and fonta half-drowned. The tree's canopy is thick, but not thick enough. Rain still finds them. It drips through leaves, slides down Cow's neck, plasters Fayu's hair to his forehead. Fayu takes off his shirt without hesitation. Holds it over Cow's sketchbook. You'll get cold. Cow says, I don't care about cold. Cow looks at Fayu's chest for the first time. Wet skin. Lean muscle. And there, over his heart, a small, faded tattoo of a crescent moon, his breath catches. When did you, the night you first replied to me on the radio, Faye says. You don't have to carry it alone. I got it at 3 a.m. at a shop in Hua Lamphong. Hurt like hell. Worth it. Cao's hand moves on its own. His fingertips touch the tattoo. Fei's breath hitches. The skin is warm despite the rain, the ink slightly raised. You really have loved me all along, Cao whispers. Every single second, the rain gets louder. The world gets smaller. Cao looks up. Fei's face is inches away. Water drips from his hair onto Cao's cheek. His eyes are dark, endless, full of something that looks like prayer. Kiss me, Cao says. But not because you're sad. Kiss me because you mean it. Fei cups Cao's face with both hands. Gently. Like holding something breakable, he kisses him, slow. Deep. No urgency. Just. Finally, it is nothing like their first kiss. That one was anger and fear and 7 years of starvation. This one is different. This one is Fei's mouth soft against Cao's, his tongue asking permission instead of demanding, his hands trembling slightly against Cao's jaw. Cao makes a small sound, something between a gasp and a sob, and opens for him. Fei tastes like rain and guava juice and the salt of his own tears. He kisses Cao like he's memorizing him. Like he's afraid the rain will wash this moment away and he needs to hold it in his bones. Cao's hands find Fei's waist. His fingers press into the warm, wet skin. He pulls him closer. Their chests touch. Their hearts race against each other. I was so scared, Fei whispers against Cao's mouth. I was so scared you'd never look at me like this. I'm looking, Cao says. I'm not stopping. They kiss until the rain stops. They kiss until the sky clears and the first stars appear. They kiss until Cao's sketchbook falls to the wet ground and neither of them cares. When they finally pull apart, Fei's lips are swollen and his eyes are red and he is the most beautiful thing Cao has ever seen. Day 7, Cao says. Day 7, Fei agrees. I think I'm falling in love with you. I've been falling for 7 years, Fei says. Catch me, Cao does. On day 12, Cao visits Fei's apartment for the first time. It is in Thornbury, a cold, minimalist condo with grey walls and beige furniture. No photos. One plant, dying. A single mug in the kitchen. It looks like a showroom, not a home, but Cao notices the locked drawer beside the bed. What's in there? He asks. Fei hesitates. Then he unlocks it. Inside, a wooden box. Old. Scratched. Fei opens it. Cao looks inside, printed screenshots of every single midnight chat. Chronological. Highlighted in yellow. A dried doke jasmine flower, the one Cao dropped on campus last year, the one Fei must have picked up. A photo of Cao sleeping in the library, mouth open, drooling slightly. Taken from far away. Respectful. Desperate. The broken pencil Cao threw away after Fei insulted him. Fei kept it, and a small note, folded into a crane. If he never loves me back, at least I loved him. That's not nothing. Cao is silent for a long time. His fingers trace the dried flower. The broken pencil. The edge of the photograph, then he closes the box. Turns to Fei. I have one condition, he says. Anything, tell your father. Not for me. For you. You can't be half free. Fei's face goes pale. He'll disown me, then you'll be disowned with me beside you. Or you'll stay in this cage forever. Your choice. Fei stares at the floor. His jaw works. His hands clench and unclench. Tomorrow, he says. The general's house is a monument to control. Everything is symmetrical. Everything is polished. The dining table is so long that people at one end cannot hear people at the other. Fei's father sits at the head. He is 55, broad-shouldered, with the same sharp jaw as his son and none of his softness. Fei's mother, a former literature professor with kind eyes and tired hands, serves Tom Kha Gai in silence. The general talks about Feiyu's future. About the daughter of General Surafol. About marriage, about legacy, about the weight of a name. Next month, you'll meet her, the general says. Good family. Good blood. Feiyu puts down his spoon. The clink echoes, father. He says. I love someone, the general smiles. Good. Who? A man. The word lands like a stone in still water. His name is Cao, Feiyu continues. His voice is steady, but Cao can see his hands shaking under the table. He's an architecture student. He's kind. Brilliant. He makes me want to live honestly. The room stops. Feiyu's mother's hand freezes mid-scoop, the general's face cycles through confusion, disgust, and finally, cold, absolute rage. You will not speak that filth in my house, he says. It's not filth, Feiyu says. It's me. Your son. The one you taught to be sharp. Well, I'm done being sharp. The general stands. His chair scrapes the floor like a blade. Get out. Feiyu stands too. His chair does not scrape. He moves with the quiet dignity of a man who has already lost everything and found something better. I've been getting out of my own heart for 7 years, he says. Not anymore. He turns to his mother. She has tears in her eyes, but she nods. Just once, go, she whispers. I'll handle him. Feiyu walks out. The front door slams. Outside, Cao is waiting by the gate. He is holding an umbrella. It is not raining. I didn't know if you'd need it, he says. Feiyu breaks. He falls into Cao's arms and sobs. Ugly, heaving, 7 years of pent-up crying. His body shakes. His hands grip Cao's shirt like a drowning man. Cao holds him. Doesn't say, it's okay, because it's not. He just says, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. He says it until Feiyu's sobs turn to hiccups. Until the neighbors turn on their lights. Until the first mosquito lands on Cao's arm and he doesn't bother to swat it away. That night, they go back to Cao's tiny apartment. They don't talk. Feiyu lies on the thin mattress, and Cao lies beside him, and they face each other in the dark. Can I hold you? Feiyu asks. Yes. Feiyu's arms wrap around Cao's waist. He pulls him close. Their legs tangle. Their foreheads touch. I'm sorry, Feiyu whispers. I'm sorry I made you wait. I'm sorry I was cruel. I'm sorry I was a coward. Stop, Cao says. Just be here. That's all I want. Feiyu is here. They fall asleep like that, wrapped around each other, breathing the same air, sharing the same small pillow. At some point in the night, Cao wakes to Feiyu's lips on his shoulder. Soft. Reverent. Like a prayer. What are you doing? Cao murmurs, making sure you're real. I'm real. Good, Feiyu says. Don't go anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. Feiyu kisses him again, on the collarbone this time, then the hollow of his throat. His mouth is warm, unhurried. Cao shivers. Feiyu, tell me if you want me to stop. Cao doesn't tell him to stop. Feiyu's hands slide under Cao's shirt. His palms are rough, calloused from drawing blueprints. They move slowly up Cao's ribcage, tracing each bone like they're learning a new language. Cao's breath comes faster. His own hands find Feiyu's back, fingers pressing into warm skin. I've imagined this, Feiyu whispers against Cao's chest. 1,000 times. 1,000,000. Never close to the real thing. What's the real thing like? Better, Feiyu says. You're better. He kisses lower. And lower. Cao's back arches off the mattress. He bites his lip to keep from crying out. The walls are thin, the neighbors are nosy. But Feiyu's mouth is doing things that make it impossible to think. Feiyu, shoo, Feiyu says. Let me. Please. Let me. Cao lets him. The room is dark. The fan clicks. Somewhere outside, a long-tail boat chugs along the river. But inside this tiny apartment, there is only the sound of breath and skin and the soft, desperate murmurs of two boys who waited too long and are done waiting. When it's over, Feiyu pulls Kao against his chest. Their hearts are still racing. Their skin is slick with sweat. I love you, Feiyu says. I love you. I love you, I know, Kao says. I love you too, say it again, I love you, Feiyu. Even when you're difficult. Even when you're scared. Even when you pretend to hate me, I never hated you, I know. Feiyu kisses the top of Kao's head. Kao closes his eyes, they sleep until noon. Part 4, the full moon. The rest of the month passes like a river, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, always moving forward. Feiyu moves out of his father's house. He rents a small room in a hostel near Kao's apartment. It has no air conditioning and a shared bathroom and a bed that squeaks with every movement. He has never been happier. Kao meets him there most nights. They cook instant noodles on a hot plate. They argue about whether non-explicit needs more chili. They lie on the squeaky bed and listen to the radio and pretend the rest of the world doesn't exist. On day 20, Feiyu's mother visits. She brings Kao new moon and a small potted jasmine plant. She hugs Kao for a long time. He's different with you, she says. Softer. Thank you, he was always soft, Kao says. He just forgot. On day 25, they walk through the flower market at Pak Klong Tullet at 3 a.m. The air is thick with the smell of marigolds and roses. Feiyu buys Kao a single white orchid. It's not a ring, he says. But it's something. It's everything, Kao says. On the last night of the month, they return to the pier, the same pier. The same river. The same moon hanging low and full over the water, but everything is different now. Feiyu has decorated the abandoned ferry landing with fairy lights and paper cranes. PLA and a few friends stand in the background, filming on phones, trying to be subtle and failing. What is this? Kao asks. Feiyu doesn't answer. He leads Kao to the edge of the pier. A small radio sits on a stool. He presses play. His voice comes through the speaker, recorded earlier, raw, unpolished. Moon child. This is starless sky. But not anymore. Because you gave me stars. Kao. I love you. Not as a secret. Not as a ghost. But as a man who wants to wake up next to you and argue about breakfast and grow old watching this river. Kao's hands fly to his mouth. He is crying before he realizes it. Feiyu turns to him. His eyes are wet. His hands are shaking. 1 month, he says. You asked for 1 month. I'm asking for 70 years. Minimum. He pulls out a small silver ring, not expensive, just a thin band with a tiny moon engraved on it. This isn't an engagement, he says. Not yet. It's a promise. That I'll never hide again. That I'll be loud. That I'll love you in the daylight. Kao stares at the ring. At Feiyu's face. At the river behind him, glittering with reflected stars. You're so dramatic, he whispers. You love it, I love you. He snatches the ring, puts it on his own finger, and kisses Feiyu so hard they almost tip into the river. PLA screams. Finally, the friends cheer. A long-tail boat passes. A tourist yells, Chok Di. Kao pulls back, forehead against Feiyu's. 70 years, he says. You better not get tired of me. Impossible. I snore, I know. You snored last night. I stayed awake just to listen. That's creepy. That's love. They kiss again. Slower this time. Sweeter. The fairy lights reflect on the water like a second sky. 1 week later, they start a podcast. It's called The Moon the Sky. They record it in Kao's apartment, sitting side by side at his old desk, sharing a single microphone. Sawas di Krupp, Lost Souls, Kao says into the mic. It's midnight in Bangkok. You're listening to The Moon the Sky. We used to be anonymous, Feiyu adds. But we learned that hiding hurts more than hoping, so tonight's first letter is from. Well, from us. To anyone listening who loves in secret, your stars are coming, Feiyu says. Just hold on. And if you can't hold on, write to us. We'll stay up with you. They sign off. Cow cuts the recording. Then he turns to Fei. You know what I want to do now? What? Eat mango sticky rice. At 1 a.m. Like criminals, I know a place. They grab a single umbrella and run into the night, laughing. Epilogue. 6 months later, Fei's father shows up at Cow's senior exhibition. He stands in front of a portrait Cow painted, Fei crying under the banyan tree, rain in his hair, the crescent moon tattoo just visible over his heart. The general stares at it for a long time. He never cried as a child, the general says. His voice is quieter than Cow has ever heard it, because he was taught not to, Cow says. But love taught him how. The general is silent. Then he extends his hand. Take care of my son, he says. Cow shakes his hand. I will, he doesn't say, I already have. He doesn't need to. That night, Cow and Fei sit on the pier again. The moon is full. The river is quiet. Fei's head rests on Cow's shoulder. Do you ever regret it? Fei asks. Waiting? Forgiving me? No, Cow says. You were worth every second, even when I was cruel, especially then. Because I knew, that wasn't the real you. The real you was always at midnight. The real you was always waiting. Fei lifts his head. He looks at Cow like he's the moon and the stars and the whole damn sky. I love you, he says. I know, Cow says. I love you too. They kiss. Soft. Slow. A promise. The river flows on, the moon hangs low, and somewhere in Bangkok, two boys who met in the dark finally step into the light. The end.